Hello, church. So it is Monday, April 28th. We are coming into Psalm 57 for our devotional today. Um, I, I had mentioned with Psalm 56 that it was introduced as a Miktam. We had the word maskil to come up, which is kind of a song indication. And I was curious about that. I figured it was just another musical notation, but it's a little bit different. And this is admittedly from Chat GPT plus, but yeah, the stuff it was pulling up looks pretty good. So Miktam is applied to Psalm 16 and then to Psalm 56, 57, 58, 59, and 60. So we're going to be hearing it. They actually, there's a few different concepts on it because they're not positive. So it's like some of the Psalter, there are some mysteries behind it that we're not positive of. One translation is to uplift it as a golden psalm or a precious psalm. So one that's supposed to be highly valued in the community. It can also be translated as a secret or hidden thing. And the other part of the context is the scribe linking it to David when he is hiding from Saul in the cave. There's the story that Saul goes in the cave to relieve himself. David cuts off a little piece of his hem to show that even though Saul was hunting him, that David was not trying to take his life. So interesting little part from, I think, 1 Samuel. And then it's also possible that Miktam refers to, and this is Miktam, it refers to it being an engraved poem. So like an inscription that is assigned, which makes it of greater significance or is being uplifted in a particular way. Yeah, that's kind of fun. We'll begin with our NRSV. To the leader, do not destroy, of David a Miktam when he fled from Saul in the cave. Be merciful to me, O God, be merciful to me, for in you my soul takes refuge. In the shadow of your wings I will take refuge until the destroying storms pass by. I cry to God Most High, to God who fulfills his purpose for me. He will send from heaven and save me. He will put to shame those who trample on me. Selah. God will send forth his steadfast love and his faithfulness. I lie down among lions that greedily devour human prey. Their teeth are spears and arrows, their tongues sharp swords. I be exalted, O God, above the heavens. Let your glory be over all the earth. They set a net for my steps. My soul was bowed down. They dug a pit in my path, but they have fallen into themselves. Selah. My heart is steadfast, O God. My heart is steadfast. I will sing and make melody. Awake, my soul. Awake, O harp and lyre. I will awake the dawn. I will give thanks to you, O Lord, among the peoples. I will sing praises to you among the nations, for your steadfast love is as high as the heavens. Your faithfulness extends to the clouds. Be exalted, O God, above the heavens. Let your glory be over all the earth. So a couple of notes that you're going to be hearing from James Mays that I condensed his part that you might have heard and caught it. So there's a refrain which divides the psalm. It happens at verse 5 and then at verse 11 and repeats the phrase, be exalted, O God, above the heavens. Let your glory be over all the earth. So I wanted to condense James Mays, but he has some pretty good sections in there today. And he entitles his commentary on Psalm 57, Your Glory Over All the Earth. A refrain, verses 5 and 11, divides Psalm 57 into two parts. The first part opens with a double petition for God to be gracious. The petition is supported by an extended statement of confidence that God will provide refuge and help from danger. The opening appeal to the grace of God identifies this as a psalm, as a prayer for help. And we've had multiple prayers for help. but it majors in trust and praise. The reason lies in the vision of God that permeates the prayer and diminishes the reality of danger. The prayer is a cry to God Most High. So, in times of trouble, when the distance between the transcendental truth of God's rule and the actuality of present history is experienced, it is possible and necessary to pray for the exalted God to exalt himself, as the psalmist does in the refrain. He believes that God's steadfast love and faithfulness, and we have talked about Hesed before, the characteristics of God as Savior are as great as the universe itself. He trusts that the God throned in heaven will send his steadfast love and faithfulness out like agents of a king to do his will. God rules, but it is still possible and necessary as individuals and as the church to pray, Thy kingdom come, Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. The experiences of God's saving grace that come to us are anticipations and signs of the consummation of God's reign. Our thankful praise is testimony to the nations. Nice job, Jamie Hayes. That's good. Good stuff. And here's Peterson, Psalm 57. And again, so Peterson, and you might not have this in a version if you were following along in something other than in the New Revised Standard or the Message. Peterson does not use the Miktam or Maskil. He also doesn't use the Selahs that I reference when I'm doing, which is kind of like think of Selah as like a pause or a time to reflect. He doesn't use those. So for Psalm 57, his inscription is a David psalm when he hid in a cave from Saul. Be good to me, God, and now. I've run to you for dear life. I'm hiding out under your wings until the hurricane blows over. I call out to high God, the God who holds me together. He sends orders from heaven and saves me. He humiliates those who kick me around. God delivers generous love. He makes good on his word. I find myself in a pride of lions who are wild for a taste of human flesh. Their teeth are lances and arrows. Their tongues are sharp daggers. Soar high in the skies, O God. Cover the whole earth with your glory. They booby-trapped my path. I thought I was dead and done for. They dug a man trap to catch me and fell in headlong themselves. I'm ready, God, so ready. Ready from head to toe. Ready to sing, ready to raise a tune. Wake up, soul. Wake up, heart. Wake up, lute. Wake up, you sleepy head son. I'm thanking you, God, out loud in the streets, singing your praises in town and country. The deeper your love, the higher it goes. Every cloud is a flag to your faithfulness. Soar high in the skies, O God. Cover the whole earth with your glory. So you heard for Peterson that refrain from 5 and 11 in the NRSV is soar high in the skies, O God. Cover the whole earth with your glory. You also caught the steadfast love and faithfulness in the NRSV, which is a translation of that word Hesed, and a profound emphasis on trusting in God in these moments. So a good psalm, and looking forward to some more of our Miktams. I wish you all very well today, and I should also comment, having been at this congregation, I now have a couple of different reactions when I hear the word hurricane. One is from my own experience of Hurricane Hugo going through when I was growing up in Newton, North Carolina, and just listening to the wind blowing through the screen and watching trees sway and fall and be broken. But the other one that comes up is on Day of Remembrance. We normally uplift a portion out of the Christopher Schultz diary of the journey over. And he talks about them being caught in this storm for about 8 hours, and describes a hurricane, in this little ship and just these horrific conditions, and trusting in God in the midst of those storms and seeing our way through, and then offering our praise all the way through. Good to see you. Everybody take care, and we'll be back with you tomorrow.